What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're out on the water and we're facing some tough conditions. It's post front, it's been raining all week, raining last night, but I'm gonna show you how to drop shot and catch some of these fish in these tough conditions. So I hope you enjoy the video. I hope you learned something. Please subscribe to my channel, please like the video, and please comment what you like to throw during tough post front conditions. But we're gonna go catch some fish. We're gonna put some fish in this boat. Hopefully you learned something. Stay tuned because we're gonna catch some fish. Post spawn drop shot fish. Don't be afraid to go fishing on post front days. Just because the weather was bad a couple days ago and the fish probably don't want to eat doesn't mean you can't get out there and catch them. You know, you might catch a good one. Most of the time you don't on these post front days, just because those fish just don't want to eat. So a lot of times you're going to get some smaller bites, but that doesn't mean you can't catch a good one. So you just got to get out there, get used to fishing some different techniques that you may not always like to fish, but you need to get more confidence with those techniques. And a lot of times those post front days are where you're going to have to fish them in order to get bites. And if you're fishing a tournament, you can't always, you know, pick what the weather is going to be like. You just have to fish whatever the weather gives you, and a lot of times that is post front. A lot of times that isn't the best conditions. So you got to get good at, you know, all kinds of different techniques, because if you got to fish right after the weather came through in that tournament, you got to do what you got to do, and you got to figure out how to catch them. And a lot of times it's these finesse techniques that shine on those post front days. On bit, there it is, there it is. Oh, there it is, there's one. A little guy, little guy, little guy. That shouldn't even count. Shouldn't even count. Post front conditions are pretty tough. We had rain pretty much all week, rain last night, and it just stopped pretty much this morning. So it's about as post front as you can get. And a lot of times when it's post front, you really got to downsize your presentation, you know, use light line, spinning rods, drop shot, stuff like that. So exactly what I'm doing right now, I got 6-pound test on. I got a 4-inch Zoom finesse worm. I've caught some fish on the KVD Dream Shot as well. 3/16 ounce weight, #1 owner cover shot hook, you know, 6-pound test fluorocarbon. Those are all things that you gotta, you know, think about when it's post front, because you just gotta get bites sometimes. Sometimes catching those big ones are gonna be real tough post front. You just gotta survive and do what you can to get bites, and a lot of times that's downsizing and finesse fishing. Oh, I'm bit again. There it is. Here's one. There's one. There it is. Sometimes on these post front days also, the fish are gonna bite real subtle. So you may not feel the bite, or it'll just be pressure. Usually they're not gonna just smoke the bait and you're knowing you're gonna get bit. They usually don't choke the bait too much, so you might have to let them take it a little bit longer than you normally do. But you can catch fish in these post front conditions. It's just gonna take slowing down, finessing them, really working areas thoroughly. You really wanna get this bait right in front of their faces. Work your baits real slow. You know, sometimes you just got to dead stick them, which you just basically leave it in one spot for a while. You just got to play around with it and figure out what they want for that day. There's one, got one, there's one. Another little one. A lot of times on these post front days, you don't need to move your bait a lot. So it's light shakes. You don't move it a whole lot. You don't pull up a lot of line at one time, maybe a foot, 6 inches, something like that. You don't need to move it a whole lot. You got to have this bait kind of sit right in front of their faces, and that's when you're going to get bit. A lot of times it's going to be a real subtle bite. You're not going to feel them train wreck the bait. It's just going to be real subtle. You may not even feel it. You might just pull up at one point and you just feel that heaviness, and then you feel the fish pull, but you didn't actually feel the bite itself. There's one, right off the graph. That was cool. Saw it on the graph, went down, got it. Not a big one, but pretty cool. Still saw it on the graph. Well, that's gonna do it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something about the drop shot, and I hope you learned something about fishing in those post-frontal conditions. After that rain's come through, after all that weather's come through, that first day after the rain can be really tough fishing. We were able to figure out some stuff to get some bites. We didn't catch any big ones today, but at least we got some bites. So do some of this stuff when you're faced with some of these conditions in the future, and you'll have a better chance at catching some fish. I really hope you liked the video. Please subscribe to my channel. Please hit that bell for notifications. Also comment what you like to do during those post-front conditions after the rain and weather's come through. Stay tuned for more. I got a lot more coming for you guys. Thanks again for watching.